In a small African village, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, there stood a church that had long been a place of solace and worship. However, this sacred place was plagued by a dark secret, a ghost that haunted its walls, seeking revenge for an unjust death. The villagers, faithful yet fearful, could never have imagined the horror that would unfold within those hallowed halls. The first sign of trouble came when Ada, a devoted member of the church, began to act strangely. One Sunday, during the middle of the service, her eyes turned a ghostly white and she started to speak in an otherworldly voice. The congregation watched in horror as Ada climbed to the top of the church steeple and, without hesitation, threw herself off, ending her life instantly. The villagers were left in shock, unable to comprehend the tragedy that had just occurred. Months passed and the memory of Ada's death began to fade, but the ghost was not finished. Chinu, a young man known for his kindness, was the next to fall victim. One night, while praying alone in the church, he was possessed. His screams echoed through the village, and when the villagers rushed to his aid, they found him lifeless on the church floor, his face twisted in an expression of sheer terror. The ghost's vengeance grew more intense with each passing day. Amara, a mother of 3, became the third victim. One evening, as she lit candles for a prayer service, the ghost possessed her. Her eyes glazed over and she began to set the church aflame, locking herself inside. The villagers watched helplessly as the fire consumed her, and the church was left in ruins. The ghost's wrath showed no bounds. UCHE, a respected elder, was found one morning, drowned in the church's baptismal font. The villagers were bewildered. How could a grown man drown in such a small pool of water? The truth was too terrifying to accept. UCHE had been possessed by the ghost and forced to hold himself under until he could breathe no more. The villagers were on edge, their fear palpable. The final straw came with the 5th victim, Nkechi, a young woman who had always been a pillar of strength for the community. One Sunday, as she prepared for the service, the ghost possessed her. She climbed to the rafter with a rope in hand, ready to hang herself. But just as she was about to leap, Father Obina, the village priest, intervened. Father Obina had been studying the pattern of these deaths and suspected a supernatural cause. He had prepared himself with prayers, holy water, and ancient rites passed down through generations. As Nkechi stood on the brink of death, the priest recited powerful exorcisms, his voice echoing through the church. The ghost fought back fiercely, but Father Obina's faith was stronger. During the exorcism, the ghost's tragic story was revealed. Many years ago, a woman named Ebele had been falsely accused of witchcraft by the village elders. In their fear and ignorance, they condemned her to death. She was executed on the very land where the church now stood. Her spirit left to wander in anguish and rage. Her unjust death had tainted the ground, and she sought revenge on those who worship on the land of her suffering. As Father Obina continued his exorcism, Ebele's spirit wailed in pain and sorrow. The villagers who had gathered outside the church prayed fervently, their voices joining the priests in a chorus of faith and repentance. The air grew thick with a supernatural tension, and just when it seemed the ghost would overpower the priest, a blinding light filled the church. Ebele's spirit, finally recognizing the villagers' remorse and the spirit's unwavering faith, began to dissipate. In a final, unexpected twist, Ebele's ghost spoke through Nkechi, thanking the spirit and the villagers for understanding her pain. She revealed that she had not wanted to harm them, but had been driven by her unjust death and the unacknowledged suffering. With one last sorrowful cry, her spirit ascended, leaving the church and the village in peace. The church was rebuilt, and the villagers, now aware of the past injustice, dedicated themselves to a future of compassion and understanding. Father Obina became a symbol of hope and redemption, and the story of the haunted church was passed down through generations, not as a tale of horror, but as a powerful reminder of the need for justice, forgiveness, and the power of faith. So guys, tell me what you are able to learn from this story. And also, if you enjoy my story, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and also turn on the notification button so that you can be notified whenever I drop a new video like this. Thank you.